Well, players return to training camp and the preseason officially kicking off this week. The 2021 NFL season is right around the corner. Among many storylines to look out for this year, the battle for the NFC West will be one that many people, myself included, will have a close eye on. It is considered by many as the strongest division in the league. The Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, and Cardinals all have a real chance of winning the division, but there's one team out of those four that I believe will be the most interesting to keep an eye on. Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. As you can already tell by the title, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Los Angeles Rams and their recent move acquiring, I guess not really recent anymore, but their move acquiring Matt Stafford this offseason and why I believe that move makes them a true contender in the NFL. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you never miss a new video. Just hit 300 subscribers, so I'm very appreciative for that. We're pushing onwards and upwards, trying to hit 1K by the end of the year. So with that being said and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Ever since the Rams moved back to LA in 2016, the franchise has seen relatively quick success and an ascend back towards the top of the NFL relevancy after spending many years forgotten about by the rest of the league. In 2017, just 1 year after moving back to LA, the Rams made the playoffs for their first time in 13 years. This success came after hiring then Washington offensive coordinator Sean McVay as head coach, making him the youngest head coach in NFL history at just 30 years old. McVay was a revolution for the Rams. He brought a young, hungry spirit that the franchise had been missing for years. As a great offensive mind, he brought the best out of players like Jared Goff and Todd Gurley and added more weapons in the passing attack by way of Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp. After coming last in the league in scoring offense in 2016 with just 224 points all season, the Rams did a full 180, leading the league in scoring in 2017, putting up 478 points on the year. The offensive resurgence led to analysts referring to the Rams offense as the greatest show on turf that was used to describe the Rams offense in the late 90s and early 2000s. The Rams would go on to finish the season 11-5 and won their first NFC West title since 2003, making the playoffs for the first time since 2004. Their playoff run would be short-lived though, falling to the Falcons 26-13, but it was clear that the foundations had been set in LA for a franchise resurgence. The momentum and fire would indeed continue into the 2018 season, as the Rams were hungry to improve upon their success from 2017. They picked up Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib, as well as signing Aaron Donald to a 6-year contract to bolster the defense, and signed Brandon Cooks to replace Sammy Watkins and add more fire to the offense. The Rams would start the season 8-0, their best start since 1969, and would go on to finish the season 13-3, winning the NFC West for a second year in a row and clinched a first-round bye in the playoffs. They would go on to beat the Cowboys in the divisional round, and then the Saints in the NFC Championship, in one of, especially if you're a Saints fan, the most memorable and controversial playoff games of all time. They would go on to play and lose to the Tom Brady-led Patriots in the lowest scoring Super Bowl of all time, but in the process became the first LA team to make the Super Bowl in 35 years. The Rams would add a few more pieces to their already strong defense the following offseason in Clay Matthews and Eric Weddle, but the Rams were unable to return to Super Bowl contending form in 2019. Inconsistency from Jared Goff for the QB position would be the biggest cause of the team's decline, along with constant nagging injuries to one-star running back Todd Gurley. Around midway through the season, the Rams would make two moves that would have a huge impact on the franchise going forward. 2 days after a 20-7 loss against the 49ers, the Rams would trade Marcus Peters to Baltimore for Kenny Young, and then acquire Jalen Ramsey from Jacksonville for 2 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick. The Rams would go on to finish the season 9-7, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2016. 2020 would be a weird year for the Rams coming into the season. 2020 was set to be the inaugural season of the long-awaited SoFi Stadium, but due to the pandemic, no fans were allowed to watch the Rams play in this brand new masterpiece of a stadium. On the field, the inconsistency from Goff in the offense would continue, but the defense led the way for this team and kept them in the playoff race all season long. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald continued to show why many considered them the best players of their positions in the league, and why the Rams defense as a whole was considered the best in the NFL. Down the stretch, the offense kept the team from being a real contender though. In the aftermath of the 2020 season, the Rams front office knew that in order to take the next step and get back over the hump, changes needed to be made at the QB position. Jared Goff started his career in LA as a highly touted young QB, but after the Super Bowl season, the honeymoon period seemed to wear off. His performances grew more consistent, and with some of the top defenses in the league residing in the NFC West, improvements had become necessary. On March 18, 2021, it was made official that the Rams would acquire Matthew Stafford from the Lions in exchange for Jared Goff, a 3rd-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. Stafford comes to LA after 11 seasons with Detroit and owning just about every franchise passing record. Despite his great individual success that doesn't get talked about enough, Stafford was never really able to achieve much with the Lions due to the lack of offensive weapons and the overall dysfunction of the franchise in Detroit. Many believe that him joining the Rams is his opportunity to achieve the team success that he has deserved his whole career. Stafford throughout his career has shown that he is one of the most talented passers in the league, but I and many others feel like he hasn't been appreciated nearly as much as he should due to his situation in Detroit. In LA, not only does he have a much better team around him on both sides of the ball, he's dealing with a franchise that has the competence to compete for their division and make the playoffs, a realistic expectation year in and year out. Looking at how the Rams have assembled the team they have over the past few seasons, I have every reason to believe that this franchise is serious about winning and will be a true contender now with that once missing piece at quarterback. Stafford will walk into an offense with guys like Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods as key weapons through the air, and a guy in Cam Akers at running back that is more than capable of providing balance and carrying the offensive load when the pass game isn't working. Add that to a defense that's capable of shutting down just about any offense in the league. The Rams are looking like a team that can seriously be dangerous in 2021 and beyond. What makes this story even more intriguing is the divisional matchups we'll get to see with this team in a ridiculously strong NFC West. Seeing this Matt Stafford-led offense going up against the 49ers defense and battling it out with other talented offenses like Seattle and Arizona will be matchups that are undoubtedly appointment TV this year. Looking at what Matt Stafford brings and what the Rams already have, this team has all the tools to make a serious run. I truly believe that this was the perfect move for both parties and one that I'm sure we'll be talking about a whole lot at the end of the season. Yo, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win the NFC West this season, and what kind of impact do you think Matthew Stafford is going to have on the Rams and the Rams offense this season and going forward? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. You know, YouTube, Subbox, all this stuff is weird. Just hit 300 subscribers, so thank you so much for the support. Pushing for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. NFL and college football seasons are right around the corner, so ramping up the content. Looking forward for all that stuff to get started. And yeah, without further ado, until the next video, Godspeed.